All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about that feeling of being stuck, something we all know. But what if getting stuck isn't some kind of personal failing? What if it's really just a software problem? Like you're running your mind on an outdated operating system.
You know that feeling, don't you? Staring at a big project or a huge life decision, maybe even just trying to start a new habit, and nothing. You feel completely paralyzed. We've all been there. But what if the reason we get stuck is actually way simpler than we think?
So here's the big idea for this explainer. That stuck feeling? It's not a defect in you. It's a bug in your mental software. See, we're all walking around with this old default operating system in our heads that, frankly, was just not built for the complexity of the world we live in today.
Okay, so let's pop the hood on this old OS. The real problem with what the source material calls the old mind is that it forces us to see everything in these rigid black and white categories, absolutes. And that, right there, is the root cause of why we get so stuck. This is basically the language of the old mind. Everything is a simple binary choice. Should I start this new business? Well, it's either yes or no. Is this idea good or bad? Am I going to succeed or am I going to fail? It feels simple, which is why we do it. But real life is just, it's not that clean. It backs us into these corners that don't even really exist. And this analogy from the source material is just perfect. Think about it. Your mental model isn't necessarily wrong, it's just obsolete. A map from the 1500s can't show you today's highways or subway stations. And in the exact same way, a simple yes or no mindset can't help you navigate the incredibly rich, complex landscape of your own potential. And that right there is the trap. This binary mindset creates this massive, totally artificial pressure to find the one single right answer. When you ask yourself, can I do this? You're demanding a yes or a no. And if you don't feel 100% yes deep in your bones, what happens? You default to no, and you stay stuck right inside that box.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem, but what's the fix? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. It requires a total paradigm shift in how you think about who you even are. And it's not about just, thinking positively. It's about thinking more accurately. So get ready for this. Because if you can really let this next idea sink in, I'm telling you, it can genuinely change how you approach every single challenge from here on out.
Just let that marinate for a second. You aren't this fixed single thing. You're more like a collection of potential futures, all existing right now as probabilities. Your identity isn't defined by what you did yesterday. It's a fluid field of what you could do next. Let's make this real. Right now, inside of you, there is the potential for a more disciplined version of yourself, a more courageous you, a healthier you. These aren't just daydreams. According to this model, they are actual, real probabilities, just waiting for you to strengthen them with your actions. So this is the first foundational principle we have to get. We have to stop defining ourselves by our current habits, by our fears. That's all just the result of past choices. The moment you accept that you are fluid, not fixed, you stop being a prisoner of your past, and you really do become the architect of your future. Now, this isn't just some feel-good philosophy. It's a practical new operating system, and it has a clear structure. The source material calls it the quantum growth system, and it gives you a framework for taking this idea of possibility and actually making it real. So here's how it works. Step 1, see yourself as that field of possibilities we just talked about. Then step 2 is about increasing the probability of the outcome you want using small actions. Step 3, that action is what turns potential into reality. And finally, step 4, you reinforce that new reality over and over until it just becomes your new default setting. It's a clear path. So how do you actually start using this new operating system every day? Well, it all boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful tool. It's a single question that can completely short-circuit that old binary mindset and switch on this new way of thinking. Just look at the difference here. The old question, can I do this? It's a trap. It's a yes or no question that just invites fear and self-doubt. But the new question, what is the probability I can do this? That's totally different, isn't it? It's not a question of fear, it's a question of strategy. It invites curiosity. And this is the full supercharged version. It's got 2 parts. First, you just assess the odds, no judgment. Maybe the probability of you running a marathon tomorrow is like 1%. Fine, no big deal. But the second part is where the magic is.
And how can I increase it? Now you're not scared, you're problem solving. How can I get that 1% up to 2%? Well, maybe by just going for a short run today.
The benefits of asking this question are immediate. It takes all the pressure off. You don't need a perfect yes anymore. It reframes failure as just data, a low probability outcome you can learn from. And it shifts your focus away from some impossible perfect ideal to small, easy steps you can take right now to just improve your odds. You literally become an active shaper of your own future.
So let's just tie this all together. The journey from feeling stuck to feeling empowered, it's the journey from seeing yourself as a fixed noun to seeing yourself as a verb, a possibility, always in motion. It's about finally uninstalling that old, rigid operating system and upgrading to a new one that runs on possibility and probability. And that really brings us to the last and maybe the most important question of all. It's not if you can change, it's how. When you look at all those potential versions of you that exist as probabilities right now, the healthier you, the more courageous you, the more disciplined you, the only question left to answer is this: which one are you going to take one small action to strengthen today?